Bible Earth is only 6,000 years old. The Bible does not say that in any way, shape, or form. If you actually understand the original languages in which the Old Testament and the New Testament were written, you'd find that there is a big gap between Genesis 1 verse 1 and Genesis 1 verse 2.
No, the 6,000 figure, the 6,000 year figure, as I understand it, I don't claim to be an expert on the Bible at all, but the idea is that you work back the number of generations mentioned in the Bible,
yes,
and that's how they work back.
Sorry, I understand how they got it. The point is that is 6,000 years of recorded human history.
Mm-hmm.
It is not the entire life of the earth.
But what, you think there were just a few billion years in between Adam and Eve and everyone else?
Basically, before Adam and Eve even got onto the scene, yes.
Right.
And there is biblical evidence for that in a number of passages. Now, another thing that a lot of people do not see, you touched on it earlier, which was the fact that we are a small, very tiny, relatively small cog in a very huge wheel. They are not understanding the fact that the earth is part of, from a biblical standpoint, the angelic conflict.
Right. But George, we're going off the subject though, because my question is whether we should teach this in schools rather than whether it's right or wrong.
Okay, I'll actually agree with James on one last thing, which is that critical thinking is something that needs to be taught in schools.
Yeah.
And for instance, this Gaia religion of global warming, etc. There are lots of very socialist, very PC ideas that over the last 60 odd years
have made it into the system.
Corrupting education, and because they have a lot of very vociferous adherents.
Yeah, George, I understand your point, but the question is it okay to teach creationism in schools, or should it be banned in schools? This is LBC at 97.3. The time now is 2:30.
From the LBC 97.3 News Centre, I'm Holly Ford. Basildon Council say the operation to clear the UK's biggest illegal traveller site at Dale Farm in Essex will go ahead this afternoon. An estimated 200 residents and supporters have barricaded themselves inside. Every British citizen can be given shares in the bailed-out banks under plans proposed by the Liberal Democrats. Deputy Prime Minister and Lib Dem leader Nick Clegg also told the party conference in Birmingham he'd consider scrapping the 50p tax rate, but only when the time's right. Two men have been jailed for a total of 20 years for a series of armed robberies on bookmakers and shops across East London. Dean Kramer and Leon Black targeted more than 35 premises last year and used guns to fire warning shots at staff. And Jaguar Land Rover is to invest £355 million to build low-emission engines in the UK. It'll create up to 750 jobs at a business partner in Wolverhampton. London's travel the M40 queuing into town towards Junction 1A for the M25 because of an accident next to the exit slip road. And the weather staying dry this afternoon with some sunny spells, but the cloud increasing into this evening. Highs of 20 Celsius today. Right now it's 18 at the London Eye. LBC 97.3, it's 2:31.
The EasyJet sale is now on with up to 20% off 2.5 million seats one way for travel between the 12th of October and the 14th of December. Sale ends Tuesday. Book now at easyjet.com. Conditions apply.
Okay, darling, I've just got to pull in here and fill up with a pedicure. Pedicure? What's a pedicure? Petrol. Now, just sit here while I get the facial. Petrol.
Use your American Express card, and even those everyday things will get you thinking about the rewards to come, like special treats and gifts and days of full-on pampering.
Right, let's get you off to spa. What? I mean school.
American Express Network. Get rewarded at BP, Esso, Total, and other petrol stations all over town.
As chairman of Galliard Homes, I wish to thank and congratulate my sales team at Greenwich High Road for their outstanding performance at this development. Following this success, I have issued instructions to commence marketing Distillery Tower, another Galliard development close to Greenwich High Road. Distillery Tower offers breathtaking panoramic views, value for money, and luxury living at phenomenal prices. The development offers a selection of apartments with prices from only £165,000. Distillery Tower enjoys a unique location adjacent to the DLR, allowing quick and easy access to the city and Canary Wharf. Owner-occupiers will benefit from sensible, affordable pricing, whilst investors will recognise immediate potential, particularly as we have interest from corporate tenants eager to take occupation. Call my sales team now on 020 7620 1500. That's 020 7620 1500 now, or visit galliardhomes.com and tweet @GalliardChair.
If you're the next big thing, and you're on your way up, tune in to LBC 97.3 Drive Time every weekday from 4 with Club Workspace and be inspired. Join James Whale with the latest news and views for London and stay a step ahead every Thursday as we meet the latest business movers and shakers. LBC 97.3 Drive Time. Touchdown, work and network with other entrepreneurs in London.
LBC 97.3. Have your say with Julia Hartley-Brewer. Call now 0845 6060 973.
Yes, we're talking about, Sir David Attenborough and Richard Dawkins, two well-known atheists who have waded into a campaign calling for creationism to be banned from the school science curriculum in British schools. They say evolution should be taught more widely in schools. This follows an extraordinary fact that back in 2008, a survey found that 1 in 3 teachers believe that creationism is just as valid as evolution. That was actually prompted a campaign initially by the British Humanist Society and others to try and persuade government to insist that evolution be taught in all schools. This year they're saying they want it to be taught in all primary schools from word go. They're saying that creationism and intelligent design, which is the more sort of sophisticated creationism, should be banned outright from being taught as a science subject, as a theory in science in British schools. Okay to teach it in religious education, but not to teach it in the science subjects. Do you agree? Should there be a ban on teaching creationism? Is it something you're concerned about? Do you think it should be taught alongside evolution as yet a perfectly equal, a perfectly valid theory about how the world and how man and all living creatures came about? Love to hear your thoughts on 0845 6060 973, the number to call. You can text on 84850. You can email julia@lbc.co.uk. Are you with Richard Dawkins and also Sir David Attenborough and wanting to, simply have a ban on creationism in schools? Simon is in Hither Green. Hi Simon, what do you have to say?
Hi Julia. You mentioned that you want our children to have an open mind, and I think one of your callers agreed with you, but if you only present one view, then they're not really going to have a chance to have an open mind.
Well, it depends whether it's a view. I mean, how many sides does a square have? You can have an open mind and say 3, 4 or 5, but only one of them's right.
No, because that's a fact, isn't it? That's always going to be a fact.
That's a point that Professor Dawkins says. He said today, we need to stop calling evolution a theory. In the ordinary language sense of the word, it is a fact. It is as solidly demonstrated as any fact in science, he says.
Yeah, sure, I agree with it, but I'm a Christian and I just want to represent the fact that you can actually believe in evolution, and I don't have a problem with it. Just to rule out the idea that there's no intelligent design behind it, I think is a little bit narrow-minded.
But the whole point, his point is that that's a matter for religious education and discussion as opposed to a matter for science, because there is no evidence as such, in the sense that we use the scientific term of evidence for a God, whether people believe it or not. And obviously more people in the world believe there is a creator, a God creator, than don't. I accept that as an atheist. I completely accept that and I respect that. However, that's not part of science, is what he's arguing.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that point. I was just worried about the Dawkins and others like it. They were fundamentalists, as you described yourself, fundamentalists.